Welcome back, Forester Dragons. We are going to complete our swans and their Monet pond. Remember, Monet was an impressionist. He left us the impression of this beautiful scene on the pond right here, right? And we're going to create our own mixtures. Look at the colors he used. You see blues and purples and greens and pinks and reds. And here is Monet. So we're going to mix these colors to create our own pond on the back of a paper plate. Remember, if you don't have a paper plate, you can use a piece of paper, cut it in a circle. Okay, or leave it square or rectangle. We learned about form, which is an element of art. Our elements are our tools that we use to make our art. Form shows height, width, and depth. Okay. So let's get started. So I'm going to take a paper plate, and paper plate would be easier than styrofoam. So here's my plate. I'm going to turn it over. Okay. Okay, so remember we saw pinks, we saw reds, we saw blues, right? I'm going to take a bunch of blues. And we saw greens. Yes, and maybe purples. So I'm going to take all these colors down because I'm going to utilize them in my piece. But remember, marker is washable, so when we if we use any kind of watercolors or water to blend our marker, it is going to bleed, which will give us that impression. But I also want some things to stay, so I'm going to use some crayons. I'm going to just color some areas, just random. I'm just doing some circles. You can make it kind of a free form shape like this, but I'm going to color them in certain areas, just kind of all over. Around it, I might put another color, a deeper color, maybe some darker purple. There is no right or wrong. You're just putting some color, okay? And I'm also going to add some green. And this is just with crayon, right? And I'm going down the side. I'm utilizing the whole plate, all the edges. I'm just kind of making some freeform shapes. Okay, once I have that all colored, you can see, I can even go in with some shades of blue and do some swirls. I'm going to do that in random places. And this is still with the crayon because the crayon will resist any water. Okay, so once I am finished with that, then I'm going to start to add that marker. So I'm just going to start with a spiral. I can go right over or in between the crayon. It's not going to affect it. Remember, we're not getting an exact, we don't want it to look perfect. We want it a little blurry. I am going to go up on the edge. I'm covering the whole plate. That was one color. I'm going to utilize all these colors. This is purple. Now, around where my flowers are, I'm going to utilize the red where I drew with the crayon. also going to put some pink near the red. Green. Okay. And some more blue. I'm going to make sure I'm getting, now remember, if you don't have watercolor paint, then you're going to want to use your washable markers with a water and a brush and kind of blend these colors to get that kind of impressionistic view where the colors just kind of all blend. It's kind of blurry. Be sure you get your edge too. This skew is right now. And in a minute, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to finish coloring. Okay, I think I have enough color, and it's kind of blurry. I'm going to actually use my watercolors. Remember, you can just use water and blend your marker. I'm going to utilize my watercolors, though. I want to add some other. So I'm just going to, any white area, I'm going to be sure I'm covering over. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to get rid of the white. You can see how I already am. I'm going to pause it and do that because when I come back, I'm going to show you just how to cut some, glue some flowers and some grass standing up in the water, you know. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to pause it. Okay, you see I blended and gotten rid of all the white areas. I'm going to show you really fast. So to make the grass stand up, and mine's really wet, so you kind of want to wait till it's dry. But I'm going to take a strip of magazine that I've cut. I'm going to fold it maybe twice. Okay. Then I'm going to cut the pieces apart. And then, so I've got 4 pieces now. Okay. All I'm going to do is I'm going to fold those pieces, the edge of them, a little bit like this. Okay, that's the edge that I'll put glue on. You can see it looks like this. Okay. The part that is sticking up, the tall part, that is what I'm going to trim for my grass. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and cut little slits like this. And you can make yours really tall or short, however you want to do it. I am just making mine a little shorter. Okay, so you can see how I cut the little slits. Then I'm going to pull them apart and you can see. So now I can take and put glue on that edge and I can put it on the plate. Now, like I said, my plate is still really wet, so I'm having trouble fitting it, but you can glue it all around. And then for the flowers, if you have colored paper, you can use that, or you can use white paper and color it in different colors. All I want you to do is fold it once, fold it twice, doesn't matter how you fold it. And then you can just cut a little bumpy circle like this. I'm just making it bumpy, right? Okay, doesn't matter what shape it is. And you'll just color each one and then glue it on as a flower. Okay, so I'm going to pause it, glue my stuff on, and then I'll show you. Okay, you can see I've colored my white paper that I cut as flowers, put a black dot inside, and then I'm going to just randomly glue them on the plate. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue on my swans. Okay, and I've got my Monet pond, my form, and my 3-dimensional swans. I'm just putting glue along the edges here. Okay, and then I'll randomly put them in my pond, and then I'm all done. I've got my Monet my swans, and I hope you had a great time. Okay, see you around. Bye, Forester Dragons.